Right. Good morning, everyone. It's good to have you all on stream. It's another time with you video. And today happens to be the very last tutorial on GST107. And it happens to be the third on GST107. And just have to conclude GST107 today. It's not on the timetable for today, but I just have to slot it in because yesterday we're just trying to sort out technical electrical issues we have. All right, so we're able to hold classes yesterday. So I have to insert it into today's activity. So I won't be taking much of your time because by 11 we're having our class. So just go straight to the point. All right, so it's GST107. All right, it's a new channel. We all should do well to subscribe, like, share the content. If you find it useful, share it with your classmates, all right? And invite others to subscribe to the channel so they can get updated when we have classes uploaded. So today we are taking off from reading, all right? Now we said something about the 4 important skills every student must possess. 4 important skills. All right, we talked about listening, we talk about reading, we talk about writing. All right, okay, we have listening, we have reading, and we have speaking. 4 of them. Listening. All right, we have speaking. All right, we have reading, and we have writing. All right, so today we're taking it up from reading. All right, so when we talk about reading, what are we talking about? Now, reading, right, is any highly valuable skill, right? It's a highly valuable skill, all right? An activity that must be undertaken for any student to succeed, all right? So, why do we read? All right, we read for different reasons and purposes, all right? It could be for pleasure, it could be for information, it could be for general understanding. Now, when we say reading for pleasure, we're talking about reading, all right, which is also, all right, referred to as an independent, leisure, or recreational reading. All right, this is the kind of reading you do when you want to recreate, all right, when you want to relax, all right. We call it, recreation. You stretch, do something different, with something nice, maybe a comic, all right, or you want to read a novel, an interesting comedy novel, something. This is the reading you do for recreational purpose, right? You do it at your leisure time, all right? You also have leisure reading or leisure readers, right? Purpose is the main reason why people read for leisure to what? Entertainment, all right? It's geared towards entertainment, all right? So we have that as that, all right? So let's proceed. Now, one thing you should know about reading is that it's what? Reading enhances you, or reading enables you to what? Comprehend words. Okay? Now, reading is the ability for you to understand words. All right? As a student, you read in order to understand words. And that's why it's highly encourageable. All right? If you are reading, you look out for new vocabulary. All right? As it helps you also to develop your vocabulary. As you see new words, all right? New words, you see new words, you pen them down, you go to your dictionary, know the meaning and how to use it, right? Knowing the meaning, knowing the law is not enough, but also how to apply them, all right? So reading is the ability to understand words contained in a document and make use of them, all right, of the knowledge for personal growth and development, knowing and application. You read, if you don't read, you don't know, all right? Just like this class you are attending, you are not here and you don't read your material. How do you know what you have in your material? All right, so reading is very, very important. It helps you to know, all right, not just to know, it also helps teach you how to apply, all right, these words. Okay, so we have that as that. Now let's proceed. So now we have different types of reading, all right, different types of reading. All right, we have the previewing, we have the skimming, we have the scanning, we have the detailed reading. I think skimming and scanning we'll get to treat that well when we get to ENT 101. I said ENT, GST 101. All right, skimming and scanning. All right, so these are the types of reading, about 4 of them: previewing, skimming, scanning, and detailed reading. Now, when we say preview, what are we talking about? All right, when you are in previewing a text, you get a general idea. You preview to get general idea of what the text is all about. All right, preview, get general idea. All right, now you get general idea without reading the whole text. Now, when we talk about skimming, all right, the key word in skimming is that skimming is a selective reading. Selective reading. All right, it's a selective reading method where you read only the main ideas, all right, within a passage. All right, I think skimming works better in the open distance learning system. All right, you don't have to go through the bulkiness, although you have to definitely go through bulkiness, but you just have to still bring out the point, because that is what matters. Because you don't do essay, all right, in your exams, all right. So now skimming has to do with selective, all right, selective reading. And we have scanning, all right. Scanning involves quick scanning, quick, all right, quick reading, all right, quick eye movements, focusing only on locating specific information. All right, so skimming and scanning, they are almost the same thing, but they have distinctions. All right, what skimming has to do with selective reading, all right, not as fast as scanning. Scanning is super fast. All right, you head straight to specific information. All right, so we have and detailed reading is what? It's more focused kind of reading. All right, we have detailed reading as a more focused kind of reading. All right, so we also want to talk about the SQ3R method of studying. SQ3R method of studying. Now, what does SQ3R stand for? It's an acronym for something. Now, let's go straight into it. What does it stand for? All right. Now, the SQ3R is an acronym for the 5 stages, all right, of reading process. 1, survey. 2, question. 3, read. 4, recite. 5, review. 5 what? Stages of reading process. Now, when we say survey, what are we talking about? All right. Before you start to read, all right, survey the material first. Right, you have an overview of its content. All right. So by so doing, you can gain insight. All right. Survey is more of having an overview, all right, of what the book is all about. I think most time, if I want to read a book, I think I go to the back of the book. Okay, where I have okay, I think I have a novel here. Let me just practicalize. Okay, yeah, something like this. It says here, this is the book, Pilgrimage Journey. The Pilgrimage Progress, the Pilgrim Progress. Right, this is the book. So most times, if I want to read books, I just go to the back, check the summary, like the summary behind. Although it talks about the writer, but it also says something about. All right, it's one of the ways you can have a general review of what the book's all about, although it's in point. All right, so that is survey. All right, first go through the. All right, you have to do survey of anything you want to read to give you an overview of the content. Then we have question. All right, you read. Now your reading will be more memorable if you question the material as you read. Now, how do you do that? All right, you should formulate questions that will guide your reading. When you read a book, when you are reading your material, set questions for yourself. All right, just like what we are treating in the class now. After the class, okay, what have I learned in this class? Set questions, write questions, give yourself exam questions to attempt. All right. Okay, today in today's class, we talked about reading. We talked about what is reading. Give 2 examples, give 2 definitions of reading. What are the types of reading? We have about 4 of them. Can you explain them? Give yourself questions. It makes your reading memorable. I do that a lot, especially when I'm done reading all my materials. On each material, I set questions. That's for myself when I was doing my program. All right. The same thing I want you to also to do, although we have plans for that for people in the classroom, definitely on our website, we'll definitely make that available whereby you can see questions on our material that we have done. All right. So definitely we are working on that for the exam time, all that's set up. Now that is you question yourself on what you have read. Now we have read itself out of the 5. Read is the third one now. Spoken about the first one. First one, which is survey, second which is question, third one is read itself. Now read each section thoroughly. All right. Concentrate, all right. Concentration and attention to detail are essential. All right. The third place is read, where you give utmost concentration and attention. Then we have the fourth, which is recall or recite. All right. Now, when we say recall, is what you are expected to go through all that you have read so far and try and answer this question that you have written earlier. Now, you write down a summary of what you read and understand so far. That's how it works. All right. The process of jotting down the main points and other details, what jailed you from reading, and to help you understand. All right. To help you understand. How can you recall if you don't understand? It's not possible. You only recall what you have understood. Okay? And we have review. Right? Review is what? The final R out of the 3 R's. All right? You should review what you have read. Right? That's when we do the revision. I mean, this SQ3R is what we do generally. The first one is all what our class is all about. SQ3R. The first is the survey, which is the first stage, which is YouTube. Right, where we'll go through our material to get a general understanding, to get familiarized. Right? Then we move to the second stage, which is Telegram, where we discuss, we ask questions, we discuss, we interact. All right? And the 3 R's, you have to go back and do your own personal reading. All right? After you read or understand with what you have familiarized yourself with in the class, right, and the discussion, question, then you do your personal reading as well. And you can then, to recall will not be a problem. That's why you can go into the exam hall. That's how you can go into the exam hall. Under 30 minutes, you are done with good grades, smiling out. So you can recall easily, all right? You can read, then you read, you recall, and what you can review, all right? Review is the last thing we do during exam time. Review everything together. So that is what SQ3R stands for. The first R is read, second R is recall, recite, and the third R is review. Please don't mix it up. This question comes out a lot in the exam. Out of the 3 R's in SQ3R, recite is in what R? All right, or what R is recite? Recite. Recite, review. All right, review. We have recall. What R is recall? And we say recall can also be, recall can also be recite. Okay, let me switch back the lights. Right. Sorry, just a moment. Okay. Yeah. So it's better now. Let's switch back. Right. All right. So sorry, that was a mistake. Okay. I think it's better. So as I was saying, okay, now recall, recite. That's what the second R, and the last R is review. Now let's proceed. All right. So we are actually running out of time, as we need to make plans for the next class. Now let's talk about essential components of reading. All right. We have phonemics. All right. We have phonics. Now, when we say phonics, what are we talking about? Phonics is actually all about you understanding the relationship between words and letters. Phonics, 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 between words, all right, letters and sound. I beg your pardon, letters and sound. Understanding the relationship between letters and sound is what phonics is all about. All right, it's your ability to make connection between sounds and each letters. All right, representing written language and sound spoken. All right. Now we have phonemics, also refers to the ability to recognize individual sounds called phonemes. Individual sound is called phonemes, all right? But phonemics has to do understand these individual sounds to create words. Individual sounds create words is what we call phonemics. While phonemes is the individual, all right? Individual what? Sounds itself. Okay, but the use of these individual sounds now create words is what we refer to as phonemics. All right, so we have that. Now, let's proceed. Now we have writing. When we talk about writing, it's also an essential, which is the fourth. All right, the fourth skills. We've talked about listening, speaking, reading. Now we are writing. Right, it is the fourth essential skill you need as a student. All right. Now, it does not matter the language in which you write. What matters is what you want to write. All right. Now, when we talk about writing, all right, it's a process of discovery. All right. Writing, all right, as process of discovery, all right, is said to be creative. All right. Now, writing is seen as a process of discovery. Now, you may ask what would discover in writing. Now, you discover a lot of things through writing because every act of writing is a new experience. All right. And one hidden truth about writing things down is that, when you write, you tend to comprehend better. When you write things down, it enhances your comprehension level. All right, unlike when you just read, when you just glance through, although we have different retention capacity levels, but be that as it may, when you write things down, you don't tend to forget easily, right? You tend to get familiarized, and that's why I insist most time in this class, you don't just watch or listen to the class as you watch your favorite TV shows like Telemundos and the likes, Al Jazeera, whatever it is. You have to pen things down. Just like what is being said here, he said writing, or every act of writing is a new experience. It is important to write things down. All right. So we have that as that. Now we have writing is also a means of communication. All right. It's a means of communication. And ideally, no one writes to or for himself only. All right, it means that any piece of writing is a channel of communication. Any piece of writing is a channel of communication. Now we talk about note-taking and note-making. All right, note-taking and note-making. These are two distinctive things. When we talk about note-taking to note-making, they are two different things entirely. Now let's quickly look at what they are. Now, when you take notes, you listen and write what you heard. All right, in your own note-taking. All right. Now, this means that you paraphrase so that it makes sense to you instead of simply writing down what you add word for word. In note taking, you don't write down what you add word for word. It's not even possible. Just like this, as this class is going on now. Excuse me. This class is in progress now. Can you write down what I'm saying word for word? I'm not sure that is possible. It might be possible, but it will take us forever before we can conclude with this class. All right. So in note taking, you do that mostly when you are in a lecture, in a meeting, all right, in a seminar. You listen, then you take down points by paraphrasing. All right. That's why I said you listen first. When you listen and it sinks, you can now quickly paraphrase to what you have heard in your own understanding. That's note taking. All right. Now, Now, when I say note making, right? Note making is totally different. Now, in note making, right, you make notes during your private study, right? Your private study time is the best time for you to make notes, right? You create meanings for yourself while engaging with a topic, right? Note making is done when you read and write. It's a different. Now you see the difference. Note making is done mostly when you're preparing for exam or when you are reading for strong comprehension. All right. Okay, you read like a personal reading, just like you said, personal reading. Personal reading, okay. I read this already, you put it down. Mostly done in the library. I remember then when we were doing reading challenge in the library at Bambora district, cited airport road. Go to the library, discover new words. We're given books, read. I mean, for hours we are reading books. I think I read Brancasi, Think Big. I read Thomas Kiyosaki, Poor Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's where I got this book from too. I think that's a Pilgrimage Journey by John Boyan, right? And books, a lot of books actually we read. It was pretty fun and interesting. All right, that's what note making does. You read, you pen down points, you for better understanding. That's how it works. All right, so we are almost out of time. Okay, now we have that as that. So we have something called pre-writing or outline. Now, when we say pre-writing, what are we talking about? It's said to be brainstorming. When you brainstorm, it means you are pre-writing. All right. We have study strategies here. All right. So we have that as that. Now let's proceed. Now we have just a moment. Now we have okay, now we have now let's talk about assessment. When we say assessment, what are we talking about? Assessment occupies a vital position, all right, in the process of teaching and learning. Assessment, all right. Assessment is a what? Is a subsystem of the open distance learning. All right, that's ODL. An assessment is conducted in ODL system mainly to what? Provide feedback, all right, also to reach a formative evaluation, all right. It's not only made for student grading, but also help to monitor the effectiveness, all right, of academic program. All right. So now we have evaluation. Now, when we say evaluation, what are we talking about? Now, evaluation is what? Is what? A continuous process of inquiring. All right? A continuous process of inquiry concern, all right, concerned with the study, appraisal, and improvement of all aspects of educational progress. All right, evaluation is a continuous process of inquiry, all right, concerned with the study, appraisal, and improvement of all aspects of educational progress. All right, so we have that's that. Just a moment, and we are good to go. So I think basically, now we're going to take learner support service. This is going to be the last thing I'm taking in the class. All right, learner support service is one critical component of an effective open distance learning. All right. Now let's look at Garrison and Dayton defined learner support service as what? The resources that learners can access in order to carry out learning. According to Garrison and Dayton, all right, they refer to that the resources that learners can access in order to what? Carry out learning process. Okay. So we have that. Now, the term student support means range of activities which complement mass production. All right, materials. Okay. Now we have, according to Garrison, all right, they said it's a range of human and non-human resources to guide. It's all about guiding. All right, it's all about guiding. All right, learner support service. It's all about guiding and creating support. All right. So we have that for today's class. So thank you very much, everyone. We have come to the end of today's class on GST107. And for as many of us who missed the class, the recorded version will be made available. All right. And for as many of us who are in private class, and you all be getting the notes made so far on this course, exam keynotes, and we all can use that to prepare and study for exams. Let's keep up the good spirit. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing us on Monday as we commence ENT 121. How do I keep calling ENT? Echo 121 and boss, that's GST 105. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye, and I look forward to seeing you in subsequent tutorial.